What do you make of what I just said?
Well, I think two things can be true at the same time. I think that you're absolutely right that the penchant for egging or dragging into harbours and doing this kind of stuff with inanimate object statues is a kind of an expression of the degradation of politics, because what is egging a statue of Thatcher going to do other than make yourself feel better? It's not necessarily a political act in any kind of substantive form. And, you know, we can have a big discussion about statues and history and their worth and all of that. But when it comes to the woman herself, I was not alive under her politics, and it's funny enough, a lot of people who express very vociferously the hatred of Thatcher are quite often young people like me. But I think that I think that, you know, there in certain parts of the country it's far more widespread and reaches across the generations. But I remember it being a big thing at Sussex when I was at university, and in this kind of strange way. But I think turning Thatcher into a monster basically lets all the other politicians who came after her off the hook, because I am completely opposed to almost every part of her political outlook, from the minor stroke that you talked about to I feel passionately against and strongly in abhorrence of her policy when it came to Ireland and what was happening there during her time as Prime Minister. But I think what she encapsulates is the destruction of working-class left-wing movements. And that wasn't all down to the monster of Thatcher. That was down to a variety of things. And indeed, politicians who came after her, you know, on both the left and the right, and, you know, Blair comes to mind, played quite a significant role in continuing that crushing of a working-class left-wing political outlook. And so to just simply blame everything on Thatcher would be to let a lot of people off the hook, but also to completely ignore the complexity of what happened with left-wing movements in the UK. And I think that, you know, that doesn't do any left-wing movements in the here and now, which I'm very interested in nurturing, any favours by making it out like, oh, if it wasn't for Maggie, we'd all be fine, which just isn't true.